Hello everybody, my name is Petr Koutny and today I will show game Anand, Magnus Carlsen, Norway Chess 2015 and why this game is interesting, why it's worth to watch this video. I will show how to play Spanish opening. I will show typical main plans in a Spanish opening, but for everybody who is not playing Spanish opening, I will show how it's important to play chess, good chess, how it's good to improve your bad pieces, how it's important to know where to play, and of course how it's good to be active chess player. So watch this game and I hope you will enjoy, because I believe that this game is a really beautiful game which will give you inspiration how to play your chess. So now we are watching typical Spanish variation, nothing special. Both players are playing well-known moves, and yes, white is looking for counterplay in a center. Now he wishes to play d4. Black is looking for counterplay in a wing and he's looking for move b5. It's happened, and now our chess lesson is starting. So how is important to find your worst chess piece, and a great idea is to improve this piece. So black's bishop on e7 is bad bishop without any future there. So black is playing bishop to f8 and bishop to g7. Same story is about knight on d2. This knight is going to f1 and g3. So now watch these two moves where both players are improving their pieces. And bishop to b7, knight to g3. What is doing knight on c6? Answer? Nothing. So it's really important, or sorry, necessary to improve this knight. And this is good inspiration for us. Doesn't matter if we are playing Spanish or another opening. Every times and in every chess opening, every chess position, believe me, the strongest plan is to improve your bad piece. So if knight on c8 is doing nothing, is going for better squares. Is playing knight to b8, knight to d7, and maybe knight to c5. Yes, black is spending time, but he knows that this time is worth for improving this knight. Okay, d4, knight to d7, h4, c5, and the best plan here is to play d5, and I will tell you why. If white is playing d5, mean that center is gone. Nobody will play in a center because center is closed. So makes sense to play on wings. Now both players has two important plans. The first one, improve bad pieces, of course, like every times. The second one, find counterplay in a wing. So mainly black is looking for counterplay on the left side of the chessboard or of the left wing, and white is looking for counterplay on the right wing. So c4. c4 makes sense. Still, black is looking how to improve his knight on d7. Square c5 is ideal square for this knight, and from the square one day should go to b3, a4 and d3. So this is a good move. Okay, white is playing another typical move, bishop to g5. What's a typical and strong behind this move? White is looking for exchange this dark square's bishop. If he will manage to exchange these bishops, black's kingside position will have terrible weak dark squares, and this is a really big chance to start attack. But first, it's important to exchange defender on f8, defender of the dark squares, and this is a typical plan, maybe for lots of chess opening. If you are looking for attack, you have to exchange the strongest defender. If you are going to exchange a strongest defender, you have chance for attack. Okay, what is doing knight on f3? I don't believe that this knight is a good knight there. So you see that it's a good idea to play knight to h2, knight to g4 and knight to h6. As I told you, white is looking for activity on the right side of the chessboard, and here it's helping him the spin. The spin is helping him, and it's up to black how he will find counterplay. If he will not find counterplay, he will be in passive position and maybe a lost position soon. So knight to h2, good time to watch this move one more time. I told you, find your worst piece, improve your worst piece and play aggressive chess. Then you are playing nearly like Magnus Carlsen. So knight to h2. The best move now is to play black by his queen to b6. He need to start immediately counterplay. If he will waste one or two moves, believe me or no, he will lose. Because white's attack on a right side of the chessboard will be such a huge and maybe unstoppable. So, unfortunately for Magnus, he played bishop to c8, knight to g4, beautiful improving, and that's not everything. Okay, I will show for example why move h5 is not working. h5, of course, it's a maybe good looking move, but it's making another weaknesses. Knight to h6, one exchange on f5 and f4, and if white will manage to open f file, he will double his rooks on f file and black will lose. There is no way how to save this position. It's funny that we are in move 23 and I will tell you that here black is lost. So it looks like Spanish opening is boarding opening, only improving. But watch this game till end, this is a really sharp game and a sharp opening. Okay, maybe h4, one exchange, knight to e2, knight to d4. Then two rooks are going to a file and black is losing. So it was funny that move h5 is not working here. And maybe for this reason Magnus playing well. Knight to c5. Magnus playing well, but Anand is playing for victory. Okay, knight to h6. Yes, I know that black is not happy to take this knight. But what's happened if he is not taking this knight? The same story. One opening on a file and f4. Same story. White will double rooks on a file and he will win. So it's a good idea to watch this game because one variation is working in two positions. So black will take on h6. But what's happened? As I told you, black's dark squares around black's king, they are such a weakness, such a big weakness that white attack after move f4. It's really strong, huge, and maybe really you can play like with Anand. There is no difficulties to remember this plan. Just exchange dark squares or exchange dark squares bishops, play knight to h2, knight to g4, and now it's a good idea to stop black's counterplay. Black has threats, and it's a good idea to stop this counterplay because, for example, if our attack will not be a winning attack, maybe one day we will play endgame. So it's not a good idea to go to lost endgame. So good idea to stop black's counterplay, and it's happened now. Knight to d7, of course. How to go for attack? We have to open f file. So f4 and maybe f5. It's interesting variation here. What's happened if black is playing by his queen to h4? Of course, black will take one piece. Then he will take another piece. And This is interesting position. Maybe with not enough compensation for black's piece, but I believe that both players saw this position, and it's interesting, but it's not enough compensation. But at least you are watching what strong chess player see and where they are looking their counterplay. So a5 and f6. Uh, this is a not active move. Maybe stronger is knight to b3, but of course at the end white will have still good position, and I think that this endgame is good endgame for white, but still black is in a game, and sometimes it's good idea to play bad endgame than lost middle game. And active moves usually is stronger than not active move. Okay, what we saw? f6 move, f5. Um, White is playing for attack. He is not making any chance to black, and it's a good idea now to watch black's army. Black's army is not active. Black's army is sitting nearly in the last rank, and all black's pieces are passive pieces. Knight to d3 is the first active black's piece. It's a good idea to take this piece immediately and leave black with only bad pieces. So remember this motive. If your opponent has a good piece, just take it. One exchange. Of course, it's not bad idea to take this pawn and to play position with extra pawn. Yes, but Vishy Anand, he played immediately to d1 and he's playing for attack, and he has two rooks on open file. So one day, maybe, why not take on g6? Watch white's army. Soon you will see that white has all pieces in attack. It's a really great story and great lesson to us. If we are playing for attack, we have to play with all our army. Okay, what's happened now if black is playing move g5? Of course, we are going to open position and black is losing because weak dark squares. Check, 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 knight to h5 and bishop to g7. Black's army is a losing army because of their big passivity. There is no active piece, there is no threats, and there is only problems. So I understand why Magnus Carlsen is not interesting to play this position. Of course, nobody's interesting. So he is looking for last hope, and watch white's army. All white pieces are playing for attack. This is a great story. How it's important if we are playing for attack to play with all pieces. But at the other side, not all black's pieces are playing for defense. So this is a big problem for black. If we have 4 attackers and black only 2 defenders, we have strong attack. We have more pieces in attack than our opponent in defense. That's good to remember that sometimes 4 is more than 2. Okay, bishop to a6. What do you think? It's important for white this rook? No, he's still playing for attack and he doesn't mind to lose exchange. So great game of Vishy Anand, and as I told you in the beginning of this video, great Spanish opening. Not boring game, and what we saw how it's important to improve our pieces. We saw how it's important to know where we have to play, how to play for attack, and all together. This is a really interesting chess plan. So bishop to g4 and h4. Of course, we are going to open this position. Even we are losing exchange, Black is losing because black is under heavy fire and under such a beautiful attack. Okay, move by move. Black has more difficulties. Yes, of course. Why not to take this pawn? Maybe Anand saw something stronger, and he played his queen to h5, and now f6. So many threats and so many ideas. For example, check on g7 is a winning move. Knight to f5, another winning move. Rook to f3, rook to h3, another winning move. And where is black counterplay? No, it's too late. It's too late, and of course, black knows that is losing. Is only waiting where or how he will lose this game. So, check on g7. Unfortunately for black, he need to take this bishop, and maybe it's a good idea to play for endgame. As I told you, it's up now. This endgame is a bad endgame for black. Sometimes it's good to play for attack, and at the end, it's a good idea to go for a good endgame. So that's happened here, and that's another lesson to us. It's not important to win by checkmate every times, but if we are winning in endgame, it's the same winning as we are winning by a checkmate. So, one exchange, and black is not interesting to play bad endgame. For example, he should play rook to h6, but after this check, watch black's pieces. They are absolutely out of game. They are doing nothing. They are losing, and Magnus Carlsen is not interesting to play this endgame. Okay, he's losing in next 2-3 moves because, yes, of course, and this endgame is gone. This endgame is gone, and there is no more moves. So we are at the end of this video. I hope, guys, you enjoyed. You saw interesting game between Anand and Magnus Carlsen. We saw really typical chess plans, how to improve our pieces, where to play, how it's good to know everything. And yes, I hope that it was a good idea to watch this game. You get the inspiration how to improve your chess. And yes, thank you very much for watching, for your time, and thank you very much for the likes and follows. So I hope I will see you soon and have a good time. Bye bye.